Before the morning light, I already feel it shining. Before I open up my eyes, I already see it shining. When my road is rough, I can feel your love, and that's enough for me.
Cradled in the morning with tears in your eyes. Wake up to this brand new day. Say what you want, today's transformation is pumping through your blood and veins. You found out you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like Monica, yeah, you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like mountain medicine. Say what you want, today's gonna make you feel something. This darkness inside gonna make your heart feel complete. And I know this road and what this path leads to me. Release all your fear and open up your wings and be. And let your walls down, let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down and say yes. Let your walls down. Let your walls down. Where will these blessings won't stop. We keep on reflecting our soul as we rock and roll. Like the genre, que pasa Mufasa. These stitches are itching, help me bless them all. Give me some pain, give me some trust. Give me some love, give me some dust. You found out you are your own guru. This energy and frequency just like mountain medicine. Say what you want, it's gonna make you feel something. Darkness inside, gonna make your heart feel complete. Yeah, and I know this road and what this path means to me. Release all your fear and open up your wings.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's wonderful to be with you as we welcome Shabbat together and as we celebrate with one another on the Shabbat. We have lots of things happening on this Shabbat, and I'll share a little bit more about that in just a few minutes, but we're going to start with a nigun. Nigun is a song without words, a melody. So we're going to start that together.
Some of you remember this. Behind your masks. Same again, everybody. very softly now.
Shabbat Shalom. For everyone's safety and courtesy, please silence your cell phones at this time. Thank you. Before the service begins, I'd like to direct your attention to the emergency exits and other safety features. You can look for the red and the green exit signs, which are over the doors. There are exits on each side of the bima, behind the curtains. There are also exits at the back of the social hall. At the side of the sanctuary are the exits to the main doors that you came through when you entered, and exits at either side of the lobby. There is also a fire extinguisher and an AED near the water fountain in the hallway, and another fire extinguisher inside the doors to the sanctuary where you entered. Please look now and find the exits nearest to you. You may also want to look at the safety card near the prayer books in front of you, or those that are placed on the chairs in the social hall. In the unlikely event that we would have to evacuate, we will meet outside at the southwest corner of the parking lot, away from the buildings. Thank you for your attention, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So on this Shabbat, we have always the oneg, the joy of being together on Shabbat, and it's especially joyful as we celebrate with Ray Landis and her family as she becomes bat mitzvah on the Shabbat. So that's a wonderful celebration, and we look forward to your participation tonight and especially tomorrow as we celebrate with you. It is also the first time in since February of 2020.
With a little bit of a sort of a Chatzi shul band outside during the summer a couple of times. Yeah.
So that we've had a shul band. The band's back together, and so that's
most of us. A couple of us are still away, but they'll be back soon.
And so that's wonderful to be here with our shul band, and it is also we are Temple Beth Israel is a partner of HIAS, which is a refugee immigrant organization, and it is for HIAS it is Refugee Shabbat, and so we also have some guests this evening who are going to share with us. You'll hear more about that a little later in the service, but so grateful that you are here. Thank you for being with us. We're going to bless our Shabbat lights in just a moment. And you may know that we have two candles, at least according to one tradition, because of Shamor v'Zachor. We have two sets of 10 commandments, one in the book of Exodus, one in the book of Deuteronomy. They're slightly different, mostly the same, but slightly different. In one place it says Shamor, guard or keep the Shabbat, the Sabbath. In the other place it says Zachor, remember the Sabbath. And you may know when we get to Lecha Dodi in a few moments, in that prayer, the first verse says Shamor v'Zachor b'dibur echad. The rabbis are actually trying to explain this. How can it be that there are different versions? And the text of Lecha Dodi says Shamor v'Zachor, Shamor, guard, and Zachor, remember, v'dibur echad, in one utterance. Meaning, we can't do it that way, but God can say both simultaneously, right? And so in one version we have one, in one version we have the other, right? So that's what the drash, the commentary is within the Lecha Dodi prayer. I'm sharing that with you because the reading that I'm going to share with you now uses those ideas of Shamor v'Zachor. Shamor v'Zachor, we remember and we observe. We welcome Sabbath with two candles, one to remember Shabbat and one to make it holy through our observance. Zachor, we remember. After the Jewish people's original journey as refugees, when we fled our biblical oppressors in Egypt, we were given the gift of Shabbat rest. Today we remember Shabbat by linking ourselves to those who came before us, a people who time and time again were forced to leave home in order to practice Judaism openly and freely. As we remember our own ancestors' journeys, we think of the millions of refugees and asylum seekers around the world today, still fleeing violence and persecution because of who they are. Shamor, we observe. We observe Shabbat by creating sacred space in our homes, in our synagogues, and all the places that give us refuge. We hope that the lights we kindle over these holy hours will illuminate a path to a world made whole once more, a world in which our rest on this day will inspire us to action on all the days that follow. We observe and remember, and now, inspired by history and our faith, we will act. Together we can speak out against those who seek to close the doors of our country to refugees and asylum seekers. We will work to welcome newcomers to our community, helping them to settle into new lives. We will ground ourselves in shared values, living them each and every day as we fight for justice for all. The flickering of these lights reminds us of the divine spark that is within each one of us, all of us equally, deserving of dignity and respect no matter who we are, what we look like, what we believe, or where we call home. Shamor v'zachor, we observe and remember. May the transformative power of these Shabbat lights embolden us in our spirit of justice so that we may transform the world. I invite those who are able to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlikner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We turn to pages 20 and 21. Before we enter into Lechadodi, as is our custom, we'll reflect on the week that has been, spend a moment on each day, on its challenges and on its blessings. Take a deep breath, be present in this time and in this space. Review of the week. We'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And this is a Ukrainian tune. Is that true, Cantor Paul?
Yeah, if, when we planned Refugee Shabbat, it was given this particular day in the calendar because this is the evening that all over the world, those who are connected with HIAS, the organizing body behind Refugee Shabbat, had determined that it would be the date, and it's an annual thing here, and it's an annual thing for many years because the plight of refugees is sadly, seemingly eternal, but I don't think any of us expected to be in the midst of such a huge refugee crisis in Europe at this point in time. So last week I introduced a tune for Lecha Dodi, honoring the Ukrainian people. It's a Ukrainian folk song. In Ukrainian it's called Nich Yaka Mishyachna, which means oh, what a moonlit night. And it was there were a couple of native Ukrainians who had joined us for services, and immediately they recognized it as a childhood tune that everyone knows. So with that in mind, and in solidarity with the Ukrainian people, I'm going to invite everyone to at least try and learn the chorus, whether you sing it using the words of Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabla, which you'll find at the top of page 20, or just in the Lailais. As we do it, I want you to just, visualize peace and security and a return to normalcy for the Ukrainian people. May it come speedily and soon. So let's show them what the tune is. We'll do 2 bars of intro. I'll do it on La first. La 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 la. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai. Now with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Verse 1. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad ishmianu el am yuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem ultiferet v'letchila. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Ve'rosh mikedem nesucha Sof b'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Verse 5. Itoreri, Itoreri, Ki va'orech kumi ori. Uri, Uri, Shedaberi, Kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Welcome back, Reed Gratz. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabla.
If you're able, please face the doors from which we entered. At home, you can face the doors to your homes.
Oy v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch hamoneh am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabla.
You may be seated. Rhea, you can come up here. You can put that there for a moment because you'll do that in a minute. So as Rhea becomes bat mitzvah this Shabbat, we were, working on, her Hebrew name for her bat mitzvah stuff, and she'd never been given a Hebrew name prior. So Cantor Paul and Rhea and her family talked about it and put that together, and so Rhea, it helps that Rhea already works, and then and so Rhea Shoshana, Bat Lev Yaakov Tamara, and we hope that we say that this should be a name that is honored, that honors you, that honors the people of Israel, that is honored in the world because of the way that you carry it, right? The deeds that you bring to the world and the many and the mitzvot that you perform. We say, Vayikra Shema B'Yisrael, and you will be known by the name amongst the people of Israel, Rhea Shoshana Bat Leib Yaakov V'Tamara. And now, we'll sing tomorrow. We're good. Now we are going to be able to watch you lead us beautifully this evening. And so I am going to invite Rhea to lead us in our books on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divera hirutei ve'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyom echon uv'chayedeko be'Israel. Bagala, bagala, uvitman kariv ve'meru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevorah, le'olam u'olmei almaya. Yitbarah, Yitbarah, v'yishtabah, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, Shemei dekudashah berechu, le'ela min kol berchata, v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, ve'meru, amen.
Amen. Page 28, Baruchu are called to prayer. Please rise.
Baruchu et Adonai hamvarah, Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I aware? Baruch Hu at Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Everybody, yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai.
Page 30, last three lines in the Hebrew, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamidim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo.
Amariv Haravi.
Amen.
And I'll just say one thing briefly about that little recitative that I do, and I'll do again at the end of at V'Ahavatecha. That was written by Israel Alter, who was a Ukraine refugee.
We are on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Oops, sorry. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. The more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Atasir mimenu leolamim, Baruch Ata Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Oilamo Yisrael.
Amen. Page 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael. Rhea will lead us first, and then Shema Yisrael with the band.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
2, 3.
Le'olam va'ed.
continue with Ve'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
Turn to page 40 for Micha Mocha, our song of freedom. We remember those who still strive to reach freedom as we celebrate our own. Join in the words of Micha Mocha.
Adonai Yaakov, Ugalo Mian, Chazak Mimenu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We give thanks for Shabbat, for the rhythm that it gives to our lives, for the pause that it gives to our week, for the opportunity to reflect and reconnect and assess. Vishamru, page 44.
So I invite you to get a little physically involved in this, whether it's clapping or snapping or stomping. It's kind of, well, Rabbi's actually got the right beat. Actually, you know, V'chamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asur et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'chamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asur et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asur et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asur et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. U'v'yom ha'shvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat asur et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam.
We continue on page 46 for our Amidah. I ask everybody who's able to please rise. You're going to actually lead that part. I think you were.
Okay.
Wait, it's just a little. You'll do
Adonai sefer tifta ufia gitzilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך אברהם בעזרת שרה.
Page 50.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch hu Baruch Shemo.
מחיי הכל.
Amen.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai,
hu Baruch Shemo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer for the text of your own heart.
So for, I guess about 3 years or so, up until we called a halt to our in-person services, and therefore no more shul band on Friday nights for a while, we had the privilege to welcome Reb Menachem Mirsky to our congregation. Menachem studying for the rabbinate at the Ziegler Rabbinical School, also an ordained cantor in his native Poland. And again, as we turn our hearts towards the east and a little bit north, I invite you to join me as you are able in Menachem's Nigun, that at least musically, I think, connects us with the roots of that part of the world. So. Yam bam 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 ba da yam bam ba da dum bam bye ya da 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 ya da 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 yam bam 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 ba da ya ba ba da 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 ya da 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 da. Same thing again. Yam bam 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 ba da yam bam ba da 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 ya da 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 da. Yam bam 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 ba da yada da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya 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 yada da ya da da yada da 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 da, ya da 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 bum 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 ba da, yada da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da. Yai, 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 yada da, yada da, yada da, yai, yada da, yada da, yada da, yai, da, 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 yai, da, yai, da, 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 bum, 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 ba, da, yada da, 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 yai, da, 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 da.
So on the secular calendar, we're in a new month, the month of March. If you hadn't flipped your calendar yet, that's the month that we're in. And we like to celebrate birthdays on the first Shabbat of the month. So if you have a March birthday, I invite you to stand up. I see certain people slouching down instead of standing up. And if I can get a couple of people, I think if we remain masked, we can have our birthday canopy. Do we have a few people who will hold it up here?
Sort of tall people, Brotherhood members maybe, want to help Rabbi hold the canopy? Not birthday boys. No, you have to be under the canopy. Here they come. It's been so long. So if you have a birthday and you want to gather in the aisle there, oh, there's got to be more than 3 of you. Come on, get up. Here we go. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
Well, happy birthday. And we want to wish you a year of health, a year of goodness, a year of blessing, a year of connection to community, a year of being able to reconnect in new ways to our world around us. We want to offer you the blessing of our tradition, the priestly blessing.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine into you and through you to others. May God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find shalom, wholeness, and peace in your heart, in your family, in your community. And may you join hands with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. And we say together,
Amen.
We have some birthday gifts for you. So I'll give you one and then we'll sing you out.
Take it away. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Huledet Sameach. Everybody now. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Can I get an oh yeah? Oh
I am going to invite up, I'm going to invite up Dina Benjamin to introduce our guest this evening.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I appreciate all of you joining us in solidarity tonight for Hayas's Refugee Shabbat, whether you're here in person or online. As in my role as chair of the TBI's refugee team, I want to tell you all about Ann Thorward, our guest speaker for this evening. First time I met Ann Thorward, early in 2017, I realized that she not only had passion, but also the drive to make things happen. Ann's passion for welcoming the stranger beautifully aligned with our own Jewish values at Temple Beth Israel at a time when it was most needed. And when is it not needed? We are grateful that our paths crossed when they did. Ann grew up in central Los Angeles, and her first career was teaching elementary school. She lived in Mexico, she's taught in Europe. Upon returning to the States, she's had a career in real estate management and as a financial advisor. Soon after she moved to Claremont, a neighbor mentioned that a 9th grade Syrian refugee student needed tutoring, and Ann answered the call. Through this connection, she met the student's family, other refugees, members of a local mosque, refugee volunteers, neighbors, faith groups, politicians, and more. In 2017, a dear friend, Barbara Oswald, suggested that she start an access organization in Los Angeles County, similar to the one that Barbara started in Detroit. Not long after, and with thanks to Ann's diligence and that of many interfaith volunteers in our community, the Newcomers Access Center was born. TBI is proud to be a founding member with Newcomers Access Center, also known as NAC, since its inception. Tonight, on this special evening, designated by Hayas as Refugee Shabbat, we are pleased to have Ann join us to tell us more about NAC's founding, its mission, and its accomplishments so far. We are also happy to welcome one of our local refugees, Nadira. After her talk, we will have time for some Q&A. On behalf of TBI, we thank you both for being here tonight. Welcome, Ann and Nadira.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Rabbi, and congratulations. Oh, yeah, good idea. I sleep with it sometimes. I forget to take it off. I am honored and humbled to be here this evening. I've been in this holy space several times for different events, but not for Shabbat, and certainly not for the one sponsored, I guess, is sponsored the word by Hayas. And my name's Ann Thorward. I am very passionate about social justice, have been all my life. And my husband, Tom, who's with me this evening, also feels very much the same way. And when we moved to Claremont, we each had our businesses, and we were working as hard as we didn't really want to. We were kind of slowing down, and he wasn't, but I was, and playing in the garden and traveling and visiting with our grandchildren. And then this opportunity came up to work with refugees. That was not my intent, but as Dina said, it became really a passionate goal of mine. And Dina is one of the founders of Newcomers Access Center. And I can assure you that this congregation has been very, very supportive, both financially, in energy, in volunteer hours of our refugees. And Dina asked me to tell you a little bit about how we started. I think she already gave the introduction. And when my friend Barbara Oswald came at my front door one day early in 2017, I have the book. She said, "Hey, Ann, start an access." I said, "I'm working full time. How am I going to do that?" And she says, "Oh, here's a booklet." And she gave me the annual report from the one she had started in Dearborn, Michigan. And I opened it up, and they had a $30 million budget. And I said, "I don't think so." But she said, "Here, we're going to do it." And she showed us how. And right now we have about 118 volunteers that are circulating among our organization. We serve currently today 61 families in the larger community. And that number changes from day to day almost. Then it became Iraqi refugees, Syrians, some few from Jordan. It's just those happen to be the people that came. And of course, I'm wearing the colors in solidarity of the Ukrainians. And reading, I heard of Haya several times, but reading about it, it's almost 142 years since they founded. And it's so deja vu. Wasn't alive then, but it seems that way, the mission. Our mission is to help refugees become independent, and we have our office on the campus of the Claremont School of Theology. They have offered us space there, and they have also offered us 5 apartments. And the idea is that you can stay in one of those apartments for 3 months. But we extended it to 6, didn't we not, or 5.5 for some people, because the idea is to get them settled enough to get, hopefully, a driver's license, a library card, English lessons we offer every single day. And Dina asked me to tell some of the things we do. So here's the short list. And there may be some things here that you would like to do. We have English tutoring every day. Right now, 3 of our apartments are empty, and they're cleaned up and ready for the next families who will be coming next week. So if you want to get involved in that process, what we do is we ask for a team leader for each of the apartments. They're small 1-bedroom apartments, and sometimes we have families of 4 or 5 in there. And go through it. We have a list. Go through it and see what's needed and what needs to be removed, and outfit a kitchen, bedding, bedrooms, everything. That's a current need. And we always need transportation, because most of our refugees who come don't drive, and we've had a bike campaign, and this group has been really great, offering us really bikes in good shape, because at least they can get around a little bit. And Southern California is not fond of helping people get around if you don't have a car, so we try to at least give them a bicycle. We help with school enrollments. If anybody has a fast track to make that happen, please talk to me. And there's also a great need to educate ourselves, and I've got a couple volunteers who are really good at this, on the medical processes. When you're on Medi-Cal, your whole world is quite different than what some of us experience, and learning how that works and how it's going to be help out. We also ask that we haven't one for everyone yet, but we ask for a family liaison. That's a person who represents the family, and they help with NAC. So every person in every family isn't always calling the office, that they have someone that will come visit them every week or 2 and find out what's going on, what they need. Because as you well know, people who have cultural language differences aren't about to tell us things. Sometimes we need to go and find out what's happening. We have a lot of people who are professionals, and one of them is with me tonight, Nadara Nada. She and her husband are both pharmacists. However, to work in their field, there's a huge language barrier before they could take the exams if they wanted to. We have a college chemistry professor, we have architects, we have teachers, we have people in the country who owned a business or a farm. I never did figure out how you translate a gentleman who raised sheep and what equivalent job we would have here in Claremont. That never did happen, but it was difficult, but he did find employment. We offer driving lessons, and we have a relationship with a local thrift store here, and if people donate things and they say that they're giving them for Newcomers Access Center, then the Axe thrift store gives us credits, and we take those credits and translate them into real dollars and give to the clients, and they can go there and shop, which many of them like to do. We have apartment field trips to different things. My husband just arranged to have memberships for all the refugees living on the campus to go to the Botanic Gardens, and then what? We had this storm, and it's been closed except for the last 2 weeks, but that'll reoccur. So I just want to introduce now Nadara Nada, if she'd like to come up and say a couple things about her experience. And our most recent group of refugees, of course, are from Afghanistan. And we do have a family there. A gentleman took his children to Kabul every summer so they could spend time with his parents. And last June, he did that, not knowing what was going to happen this August. And it is February of 22, and he has not yet been able to get his children out of Afghanistan. And we're still working with, if anybody has direct ties to the State Department that are stronger than what some of our volunteers have, we'd appreciate it. We're trying to get them home with their dad. So, Nadra, come tell your story. I guess I'll just stand.
Hello to friends. And first I want to excuse me because my English is not good because just I know English and we are coming just for more than 3 months. So I know a little bit English, but I don't share about because hope you know what I say. Just my name is Nadra. I am from Afghanistan. When our security situation was bad and the Taliban is coming and they reach in Kabul, we suddenly decide to move anywhere because we are afraid about, because this is the group of they treat the women and they didn't let the girls to go to a school. And we have heard about, because I had experience more than 25 years ago, the first time the Taliban came in Afghanistan. So we had a bad experience because I was working in a clinic as a pharmacist. So I know, I remember that many times they bad us because they didn't want to be with working with the man. So. And also the first time that they're coming, nobody going to the school, especially the women and girls. So we decided to come as soon as possible and here. So when my daughter was on the school and she was want to pass their exam, so I was with my son on the bazaar. Suddenly, I saw that group is coming in the city. So I suddenly take out my daughter from the school and going to home. And we get out to our country. So the first time we was on the Germany camp for 1 month. And after we come to the Virginia for 45 days. It was very hard for us. Yes, we know the American soldier, American army is doing hard work for us, but we lose all our tanks. We are coming just with one mobile and our own clothes. Everything we let and we lose in the country. It was so hard for us, especially for my cats. When we decided to come in American, my children is crying. They told me, "Mom, we didn't want to go anywhere because we didn't want to let." They didn't want to let their child remember times. So we came in American with the very hard times. Just we are, you imagine that you're losing all your tanks or your life just for 1 day or 1 hour to come in other place. When we were coming here, we was on the camp. It was so hard for everyone, for our peoples. So after that, we came in California, and we came to Claremont. Before that, we come to Claremont. We didn't know about anything. I mean, the American culture, American government process, nothing. So especially, we didn't know about the NAC. When we arrived, we are worried about what we should do, because it is the first time that we are out from our country. Here is much of different situation, different culture, different many different life and than our country. So we was worrying. Just NSC stopped beside us. Miss Anne stopped beside us, and she helped us. She do hard work for the Afghan people that they're living in Kalarmon, especially in this building that we are living. They bring us, they making and preparing a nice house with everything that we needed. We are worried about because this is the first time we didn't have the car. We have to going everywhere by walk, but we didn't know. We have nothing. Just they took as a bike for every our family person, like that they took it for every refugee people. So now I'm very happy that I know what I should do in American, because Miss Anne and their colleagues and volunteers are doing much. I'm stay at home different time, but when in the early morning that I see the volunteers coming and bring my daughter to school. Everything that you imagine. So I want to say much thanks to Ms. Anne and NSC or their boards. Thank you so much for that you spend your time for me. Thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay here. And just to let you know, we work with an agency called the International Institute of Los Angeles, and it was started in 1914. And guess what its mission is? To help refugees. So, HIAS, International Institute of Los Angeles, International Rescue Committee. Well, Newcomers Access Center, we're just babies in the world of refugee organizations, but I want to share with you that sometimes we get a phone call from the agency and they say, we're bringing a family, we'll be there at 2:30 this afternoon. We don't always get a lot of notice. That's why we like to get prepared. And I want to share with you that the Nada family is moving a week from tomorrow from the campus to live near one of her siblings down in Torrance, California. And we have yet to figure out, we need a person to drive a U-Haul because they don't have their driver's licenses yet, and help pack up things, yes? And I told you I would mention it. So.
Hope somebody helps
So,
us.
yeah, so if anybody wants to help, that would be, we would be most grateful. So thank you very much for the opportunity to chat with you, and look forward to seeing some of you at Newcomers Access Center, even for a few minutes or days or weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Thank you.
We'll have a few minutes. We're going to have a modified ONEG this evening, so if you have any questions to share with Anne or anything, there'll be a few minutes to do that as we close the evening. Yeah. So we're going to turn now to page 253. We know we've been talking, our world needs a lot of healing. And in our own community, so many of us are in need of healing as well, healing of body, healing of mind, healing of spirit. And so we turn our thoughts to all of those in need of blessing. If you're at home, please feel free to put people's names in the chat who you're thinking about as we join in Misha Berach 253.
O Holy One, who blessed our mothers, who blessed our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayers as we say their names. Akadosh Malay rachamim alehem lehachzikam ulrapotam ve'yishlach lahem refuat shlema refuat hanefesh refuat haguf B'toch sha'ar cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosin Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Kathy Brewster, Jennifer Rudin, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Brad Holland, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarsky, Ira Quatcher, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Vivini Feldman, James Cecile, Esther Besbris, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Blair Pollock, Myra White, David Grossman, Lori Snyder, Jeremy Knoller, Charita Rezadeh, Mike Klein, Lily Morrison, Sarah Kojman, Richard Handley, Barbara Fast, Jessica Calderwood Kubel, Joel Beasy, Burton Gershman, Carol Berlant, Nancy Aiden, Janet Barong, Paula Steinbach, David Bush, Howard Bush, Sandy Aaron, Evelyn Schumann, and
HaKadosh Baruch Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
I'd like to invite Dina Benjamin back up to share some announcements.
Because you haven't seen me enough. Shabbat Shalom on behalf of the Board of Trustees. I want to thank Rabbi Kupitz for his sermon, for his thoughtful remarks tonight in support of refugees and refugee assistance, and to Cantor Bush for his beautiful music. Reed Gratz, and I'm going to allow Cantor to introduce the rest of the Shul Band, and to Claudia Gonzalez for her expert work on our technology. It's wonderful to have the Shul Band back in house. I really, really love having you all here. Thanks to Rhea Landis, who will become bat mitzvah tomorrow. You're all invited. Special thanks to Ann Thorward from Newcomers Access Center and to our newcomer, Nadra, for sharing your story with all of us. It really touched us, and we appreciate your being here. Thank you to tonight's greeters, Deborah Norden, Toyasha Sabag, Laura Zuckerman, Lance Watsky, Harriet DiBasilio, Sharon Sachs-Regalado, Marco and Courtney Medina, for helping with check-in, parking lot greeting, and challah, cutting up. Thank you for all of your help. We have many events coming up this month. This Sunday, Brotherhood will be having its monthly program, and you're all invited to listen as Devara Lieberman, president of the University of Laverne and TBI member, will be speaking at 9:30 on Sunday about the future of higher education following the COVID-19 pandemic. This will be a hybrid program, so you can either come here to the temple or you can watch it on Zoom. Devora will be here in person. So I hope you all will consider coming in person as well. Next Friday will be our Women of TBI Shabbat service. Please join us in the sanctuary or online for a special evening of community and spirituality. I also want to mention that our Tree of Life Children's Center is now offering free COVID tests to the TBI community on Monday mornings from 9 to 10:30. There are PCR tests with a quick turnaround time, so please take advantage of this free service procured by our TLCC director, Robin McConnell. And lastly, mark your calendar for our new member Shabbat, which will be held March 18th. You can find out more in our Kehillah, which is mailed to all congregants, and in our e-blast that go out to all of our congregants and community. Shabbat Shalom.
Next week, next Shabbat. Next Shabbat.
We turn to page 282 in the middle of the page for Aleinu L'Shabeach. I invite you, if you're able, to please rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol L'Tei Gedula Le'otzer Breshit שלא עשנו כגויי הרצו ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Page 294. Take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who've died in recent days or at this time in years past. Remember the recent deaths of Annie Madrid, mother of David Madrid, Robert Heyman, husband of Lisa Heyman, father of Noah and Jacob, Nancy King, wife of Harvey King, Juan Madrid, father of David Madrid, Julius Joe Kummerman, father of Howard Kummerman. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Hyman Ansel, Simon Bermanis, Nathan Ehrlich, Marla Freed, Saul Moschel, Eddie Nedich, Bill Walensky, Neil David Baker, Louis Eckstein, Edward Gillespie, Terry Merkin, Frederick Mooney, Flora Oliver, Lizzie Purvis, June Singer, Harriet Wish Gussman, Robert Austin, Jack Ferguson, Estelle Greenberg, Norman Kaplan, Betty Letsky, Pauline Manilovitz, Thomas Marchese, Burnett Mullen, Gary Sachs, Dorothy Smuckler, Sissy Serco, Edith Steinberger, Betty Starr Sugarman, Esther Baker, Rachel Berliner, Eleanor Geller, Morris Gershman, Frida Goldman, Esther Pasternak, Fanny Wolper, Edith Davis, Rose Fandel, Robert Richter, Rochelle Smith, Douglas Austin, Fred Bamberger, Barry Blatt, Alan Ellis, David Kornblue, Milton J. Rosenthal, Jack Wildenberg, Andrea Braver, Sue Karen Sherry Home, Myron Sanford Feinstein, David James Heisler, Iran Carmen, Rose Katz, Sam Rosenfeld, Miriam Satin, Saul Schenfeld, Molly Schimmel, and Ernst Silton. If you are remembering somebody on the Shabbat and would like to add a name to one that I've listed or restate a name I've listed, please feel free to do so as I come by your row. If you're at home, please feel free to put a name in the chat.
Aaron Rothy, Pepper Brown.
If you're in a time of mourning or observing a Yortzeit on the Shabbat, I invite you to please rise. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise and embrace in support of those who mourn. Kaddish is on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizban kari v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ulomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shmei dukudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. We're going to close with Biado, which is on page 321. A note, I guess, for people both in the sanctuary and at home, just there's going to be a change in our practice this evening, which is we've been making Kiddush and Motzi on the Bima, but we're moving into the social hall tonight for Kiddush and Motzi, which means that when we finish Biado and say Shabbat Shalom, for those of you at home, that will be the end of the service this evening. For those of you in the sanctuary, please join us in the social hall. There'll be juice or wine on the table on the left, and then we'll hand out challah to folks in the social hall. So Biado, bottom of 321.
So before we start Biado, I do want to take an opportunity to thank the Shul Band. Yay, welcome back. Al Shapiro on sax, Dana Sundin on flute, Reed Gratz on keyboard, and Yoa Gratz DeLong on bass guitar. We've watched Yoa grow and grow and grow, and he keeps growing. So, I mean, a portion of it is hair, but most of it is not. And it's so good to keep it in the family. I wish I had my sons up here, but you know, they're off doing other things. So anyway, Toda Rabbah. There's more shul band next month and hopefully all the months to follow, and we'll have a few members missing. If you're interested, if you're an instrumentalist and want to join us in any capacity, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Be'ado avkiduchi,
Dishan ve'ayira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira. My soul I give to you.
my soul I give to you.
My spirit in your care.
My spirit in your care.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall
Hold me in your hand.
hold me in your hand.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not
Safely in your hand.
safely in your hand.
My soul I give to you. My soul I give to you. My spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand.
My
Be'ado avkiduchi,
my
Tishan ve'ayira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li v'lo ira. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us virtually and certainly here in the sanctuary.
If you're in the sanctuary, please join us in the social hall. To those at home, see you
Shabbat
next
Shalom.
time.
And happy birthday in a few more weeks.